All right, our goal today is to move forward into 3x3 application problems. We have 4 options: elimination, substitution, graphing, and matrices. So you have all those options available to you as we discuss each of the different ways that you could be asked to do a question. All right, it says in a factory there are 3 machines, A, B, and C. When all 3 are running, they can produce 222 suitcases per day. So you know the first equation, and it's very, very straightforward in this particular question. If all the machines are working, make sure you sign your or cross your name off. If all the machines are working, you're going to get 222 suitcases produced. If only A and B are working, you're only going to get 159. And if only B and C are working, you're going to get 147. Now, what is the daily production for each machine A, B, and C? Now, we talked about when we solve systems that in order to use matrices, they have to be a square matrix. So what's the problem with the matrix that we're going to pull coefficients from? Zeros where, honey? So you'd make that 0A? Yeah. Okay, that makes that row 3. Anybody else? Another suggestion? Because 0 times C is just 0, then we can use that as the coefficient of C. Perfect. So let's pull the coefficients off A, B, and C. Remember, if there's nothing there, it's understood to be a 1. Then off of A and B, then our placeholder 0, another placeholder 0, and 1 and 1. Now, how do I move A matrices across the equal sign so that I can solve for A, B, and C? Good, the inverse, perfect. So you set the problem up, you show me that you can do that. For time's sake, you are going to probably use your calculator. Alpha zoom, you want a 3x3. Remember to use your right arrow keys because otherwise it will, if you hit enter, it'll take you out of it. How do we denote an inverse in the calculator? Do you remember, Savannah? Perfect, x to the negative 1. Tate, how do I get back to the matrix to put in my 222, 159, 147? Perfect, alpha zoom. And it is a 3x1, so I do have to make that adjustment. So how do you interpret this answer matrix? Wes, what does 75 mean to you? Machine A makes 75 suitcases. What does 84 mean to you, Hannah D? Perfect. And the last one, Spinda, what does 63 mean? Good. C made 63 suitcases. Perfect. The next one on the notes is very similar to some of the ones we've done already. It is about admission to a carnival. It says that 800 admission tickets were sold. So we are going to use that number in a moment. That receipts totaled over $3,000. They give you the top price for a children's, an adult's, and a senior citizen ticket. The first 2 work out exactly the way we've been practicing them. Remember that first we have to define, because in the previous question A, B, and C were already defined for us. But here, Hunter, you pick what you want to make X. What do you want to make X? That's great. Children is fine. How about Y then? Rob, what do you want to make Y? Okay. And by default then, the senior ticket we're going to denote by Z. So if we say we sold 800 of those, then in our ticket box we need to have 800 tickets as people went in the door and handed them to the ushers, or however, you know, that they took tickets up. It says the receipts totaled $3,775. So we kind of got to figure out how to get the money decided. How much, say 10 kids came to this, how much money did you make on kids? 30. So what you did in your head when I asked that question was did 3 times the 10, correct? So then does it make sense that 3 times X would give you how many children's tickets no matter what? Good. So then 8 times Y and then 5 times seniors. And that's going to equal 3775. Now the part that is just slightly different this time is the sentence that says there were twice as many children's tickets sold as adult tickets. So I'm going to make a cartoon bubble because when I write it, it's not going to be in standard form, so I can't match it up yet with the other format. So if I have a balance scale and I tell you this sentence again, there were twice as many children's tickets sold as adult tickets. How would I make that balanced? Wes says X equals 2Y, that the children's tickets equals twice the adult tickets. What do y'all think? Does it sound like he's right? And the other class said the same thing. Yesterday we did this in 6th period, and they were like, no, it's the other way. It's 2X equals 8. If you get yourself in a situation to where you can't tell which way it is, put numbers in. So here's an example that I'm going to make up, okay? X is children's tickets. If we sold 16 of those, how many kids' tickets or adult tickets did we sell? So I put a blank there because if I'm in a balance scale and there's 16 in this guy and 8 in that guy, how do I make it equal? Yes. So was Wes correct to say X equals 2Y? He was. But if you get stuck in something like that and you're like, I can't remember if it should be 2X equals Y or X equals 2Y, make up numbers, think of the balance scale, how am I going to get this 16 to match that? And that may more quickly help you. All right? The problem is that's not standard form, and to be worked by matrices, it needs to be standard form. So how would you adjust this, Dylan? Good. And it would now equal 0. What do I need in this position right here, Haley? What do I need in that position right there? Want to phone a friend?
Yeah.
Okay, phone a friend.
Okay. A 0?
Why is it a 0? She's right. Why? What is it? It's a placeholder because when we do it by matrices, what has to be, to find an inverse, what has to be true about the size of this? Good, it has to be a square. So since the others are already denoted as 3, then we've got to end up with a 3 by 3. Do you care to shut that door, Erica? What if the only thing I asked for was how many adult tickets were sold? What would be the answer? Perfect. Adult tickets sold was 225. Now this particular question said how many of each are sold. So you'd have to go through and say we sold 450 children's, we sold 225 adults, we sold 125 seniors. However, if the question just asked for one of them, you've got to focus in and see what the one is that it might be asking for. Any questions? All right. Anybody need more time to copy that last one down? On the back, how many questions are there? Harrison?
So if I'm checking, do you want me to check all three ratings?
I am going to work all these by matrices, so I'm personally not going to check any of these. Okay. Any questions? All right, on the back you will find 5 questions.